Hello everyone. We are starting the second part of the truck camper build. As you saw in the last video, I built the carcass of my setup and now we just get to kind of put things together. I finally got the screws in to put the door slides on, so I'm just going to do that today because it's like 4:30. I've done some work today, like normal work, and I just am impatient to wait for the weekend to do that, so I'm gonna put that on because I want some instant gratification and see how they work, and just I can start taking measurements for the cuts I'll need to make this weekend. So I used drawer slides similar to this in my last van build for the fridge. They were much shallower. I think they couldn't have been more than maybe 20 inches. These are 60 inches, so it's just a little intimidating getting the lining right. Also, it rained yesterday. I know that there's a couple leaks definitely around the windows. I put a roof rack in that is going to be in its own video with like the painting and stuff of the camper shell, but I don't know because the roof's dried. I can't see if I'm definitely going to put sealant up there, but there is a gasket that came with the kit that probably isn't enough, but I don't know where it leaked though because it's like down here, so I'd imagine it must have leaked here and kind of rolled, maybe? I don't know. Sets of drawer slides. So you might see that these are really bent. When I got them in the package, this side was down, and they didn't have any wrapping, like any sort of bubble wrap around it, so these got bent. I was able to straighten out a couple of them, like this one over here and that one were way worse, but for some reason I can't get this to fully go straight, but they still work and they're just so big and heavy. I felt like it was just going to be too much of a hassle to return them and get new ones. So I have not linked those in my Amazon storefront. I've linked other ones that look basically the same, but are definitely a different seller, so, and about the same price. I think maybe these ones I got were $10 cheaper. I guess they took the $10 away from the packaging cost, so. Alright, so I was just messing around with one of the sides off camera, just to see. It's kind of a weird angle anyway. I figured it wasn't that big of a deal. Oh, thank you. But the side of the truck is in the way and I can't get my drill in there, so I'm gonna have to pick up one of those like 90-degree angle drill attachments, because I want to make sure I just get all of the screws in there, because these are meant to hold 500 pounds. Don't need a bee. The middle ones should be fine, it's just the outside ones that I can't reach, so it's working well though. I'm using cardboard as spacers, so I'm just gonna have to remember that the back needs to accommodate that lip, but it's working really well. What's going on? Okay, so I'm hoping you can see this, but this bit is knocking against that bit, and it's not like that normally. You can see, hopefully you can see, it's passing it by. So something about this wood is like pulling. I mean, you can see it's not, god damn it, it's not perfectly straight, but Shasta, give me a sec. I wonder if I flip it the other way. There's just gonna be all these screw holes in it. Meh. So because the wood is warped and like bowing inwards or outwards, depending on which way the drawer sides go, it either doesn't close all the way or it doesn't lock. So the way I have it now, it's like bowing inwards, so both sides will kind of go like this a little bit. I'm exaggerating, of course, but it's better than going like outwards like that. Because if it goes outwards, it doesn't even close all the way, which it needs to just to be able to fit, and I just want to make sure it's not going to hit anything. So it's not a big deal if it doesn't lock, but also maybe when the face pieces are in. Oh boy. Do this if this stuff isn't. Yeah, so I don't know, because this wasn't an issue of cuts, it's an issue of the wood being warped, which it's just like every sheet of wood I've gotten has been slightly bent or bowed. So I'm just gonna have to see if when I put the faces on it, it doesn't stick. Because yeah, right now it's just very flexible still. And these pieces, once I put the cross members in, really straightened out. So I'm hoping that it maybe works itself out. Because, I mean, the only other way of like doing it potentially the right way is that I'd have to go someplace else and get like really high quality wood, which would be more expensive. This wood would go to waste because it's not the slides, it's definitely the wood. So I'm just gonna keep going along. Today is May 3rd. I have a gathering I'm wanting to go to, Descend on Pinnacles. And that's in 25 days, so I really need this to be functional. Yeah. And I didn't mention this in the last video. I didn't film this, but I added this stuff called rock block, I don't know. But yeah, it's just this like rubber thing that adheres to both sides and it just seals it. And I even put some extra gaskets right here just to seal it up when it's closed, to reduce the amount of dust that gets in. So I'm going to do the other two sides before it gets dark. Yeah, so that's what's happening. I got the 90-degree attachment for my drill to be able to get in the corners of the drawer, so I'm gonna do that now. And hopefully I can maybe get some wood cut because it's been raining on and off today, and I'd really like to do more than just screw through. Screw, few. My brain's not working today. So I've obviously been painting. Last night and this morning I have been putting polyurethane on the pieces for the drawers. There's only a couple pieces that need 2 more coats, and a couple pieces that are just taking a little bit longer to dry, so I can't assemble them yet. But what I do need to do is start getting the cover pieces cut and sealing those, because that's really what takes the most time, is doing the 3 coats on each side. So I think it's probably also easier to do that when the bottom of the drawers aren't in, so I can like climb in and measure everything. I think I'm gonna have to do it in pieces instead of like one big piece. If I did do that, I'd have to go back for more wood, and I'm not gonna do that. I should have enough to put everything in. I have a feeling I'm probably not even going to be able to put the drawers together until I I get the top pieces. I can't do the top pieces if I can't do the drawers. That's a pickle. Okay. So let's just start cutting the top pieces. That's the easiest. Yeah, so I'm going to start with the very back piece. I definitely have enough for that. I think I'm going to have to cut that back piece into two, which I think would be good to have like two hinges, because it's going to be hard enough just to have to fold the mattress back. I'm just talking out loud here. It's going to be hard enough to pull the mattress back to then open a huge hinge. I cut the pieces for the back, but I know for a fact I don't have enough. Even if I cut, it's just the lengthwise that's like screwing me up, because it's not 4 feet wide, which is a normal 4x8 like sheet of plywood. So I found this piece and it got me thinking, maybe I can cut what I have into, this is, let's see how wide this is. This is about 6 inches, and then space them apart, and maybe I even cut it down to 3. I just don't know if I cut it any narrower, if it's going to be more flexible. But as of now, it with six inches, it's fitting. This is actually also a piece that fits perfectly, but so yeah, if I just kind of make it go across, I feel like it'll help with airflow so that my mattress doesn't get moldy, and it'll save some wood, and then I don't have to go and buy a whole nother sheet, because we're kind of coming to the edge of my budget. Even though I didn't have a budget, it's just becoming a little too much. Sorry, my hair's a little crazy. I washed it yesterday and it's now really windy, and yeah. Anyway, I think I'm gonna try this. I think this should work. I think I'm gonna leave it at 6 inches. And if I find I run out of wood, then I'll cut them all in half. Alright, it's the same day, but I swear I've had like 5 different outfit changes because the weather's been all over. I have finished. My plan to make a bunch of these little slats was successful. I had enough to cover all of it, and it should be super sturdy. So now all I need to do is sand it down and begin the long process of treating all of them. I even got the 2 pieces in the back, and I figured out the right size for these on the side. I think you can probably see that. A bit of an emotionally heavy day, so I'm not going to talk very much. So just going to get to pre-drilling the Craig holes for the drawer pieces, and maybe we'll get them in tonight, but I don't know. Yeah, no, don't jump on it. Shasta, I told you not to jump. Oh, come here. It's okay. You're fine. What's that scary? Do you want to go up now? Okay, give me a second. Just Miss Chaos. Okay, up. Okay, was that it? Is that all you wanted? Little Miss Chaos, huh? Hi friends, another day on the camper shell build. It is going to be very hot today, so I don't know how much I'm going to be talking. I just tend, like most people, tend to get very tired in the heat. So right now I am working on drilling out the pocket holes for the bed slats, because once I put those in I can put, I don't have all of the hinges since I ended up cutting that back piece into two opening drawers, not drawers, oh my god, storage box, I don't know what to call it. So there's two doors for that, and I only have 3 hinges, so I need one more hinge for that. Then I can start putting in the back pieces for those, and maybe cut the back piece of that. That's gonna have to be in 2 pieces because I don't have one long enough piece. But we're getting close to it being functional, and that is potentially gonna be the end of the video because I do have some finishing things I want to do, but that's probably not going to come for a little while because that is going to be a bit more money again. Like, I'm wanting to do kind of cool faces for this. I'm gonna trim out that, like, there's a lot of little things that need to be done to make it look really cool, so it's just going to be bare bones and functional because I'm going to descend on pinnacles at the end of the month. So that's in today's the 13th, and that is on the 26th, so I have just under 2 weeks to get this ready for that trip. So that is very much in the timeline. We're doing really well. I'm not going to put dividers because I have no idea what's really going to be going in these drawers. I am going to put a divider in this food one because that is pretty self-explanatory. I don't want things to be moving around while I'm driving, so having a divider will just keep things from shifting too much. And we have to just do general, like, waterproofing stuff. It shouldn't rain again probably for the rest of the summer, but you never know. It's been a weird year, so yeah, it's gonna be like 98 degrees today, which is truly the start of summer. Yeah, so let's just keep going. It's very repetitive, so I'm listening to a podcast, National Park After Dark. I'm on the 2nd episode. I've been doing a lot of Craig screw holes. I'm hoping this doesn't die. It shouldn't. I charged it, so let's just keep going. So as you can see, I am installing the under stove drawer for the sink, the pop-out sink. And I'm basically just doing the same method that I did for the main drawers. The one thing that's awesome about these ones though is that this piece actually pops out like normal drawers do. I don't know why the bigger ones don't, maybe because they're just so heavy that most people don't do it anyway, but that'll make it super easy to just build a drawer and then pop it back in. And so you can see they're push to open, so I don't need to put any sort of latch on them. Alright, so I'm gonna finish out for the day because it is getting way too hot. You can probably tell by my red and sweaty face, but got all the slats in. I have not put the back storage doors in yet, and I did put the little back wall for the side pieces in. Yeah, so tomorrow, I don't know what I'm gonna do. We're at a weird point where I it's hard to keep track of what I need to do because it's pretty much, it's usable. It's just, oh, I need to do the face of that drawer. I think I'll do that tomorrow. And work on just waterproofing. So see you guys tomorrow. Alright, as you guys probably saw, I measured wrong. It was bound to happen on this project. I'm surprised it hadn't happened yet. So yeah, I gotta recut this piece. Luckily I have extra wood. Give me a sec, Shasta. Ready. But yeah, I think I wrote down the measurements of where this needs to be. So obviously this piece needs to come above the drawer so that it can kind of like lock into place, which it can't do right now. Yeah, it's just annoying because this piece is already sealed. So that's a bummer. Alright, so hopefully we are at the final day of the functional side of this build. I just need to finally get the final hinge to get that door attached in the back. I do think I'm gonna have to add a couple little like supports for it to rest on just to make sure the weight of Shasta and me, it's not like we're both gonna be sitting on that one corner, but just in case. I need to finish the sink drawer, and I hope I have enough polyurethane to finish that, because that's like, it really needs to be finished because that's where I'm doing dishes. And then just need to put the face on this, and that's it. Then I clean it out, and I think I'm gonna put the mattress in here, see how it looks. But yeah, all the finishing touches will be in its own separate video because that's not really going to come for a little while. It's not high on my priority list. We just want to get this working and usable, because those last finishing bits are probably going to cost another $100 to $200. So yeah, and once everything's done, I will put out a cost to this build. It's not like a super cheap build, but it's also not like crazy expensive. So let's go. Oh my god. My brain isn't working today. If my words come out wrong, that's why I have a headache, but we gotta get this done because it's one of the only cool days we have for a week. All right, so I figured out that what I was planning on using for the face of this fits right here, and it has a little lip. I think instead of putting it on the face of this, because it really sticks out a lot, I'm gonna cut a piece that'll sit in the front, and like be flush with this, because I'm gonna put a face on it, so hopefully everything ends up flush. But obviously if there's another like 3/4 inch thing in the front, it's going to be much harder to get this to be flush with this. So if I just find something that, I have so much scrap wood, I'm not worried about finding a piece that would fit here, and also it would work better for the height, I think. And then again, I'm gonna finish everything out later. So this is going to be put there to kind of separate this and keep things from falling in between, but also the fact that it has a lip means that the stove that will live here won't slide off onto whatever food I'm storing in there. I just cut the front piece of this drawer. I'm gonna attach all of these pieces because I need to be really strategic. Oh my god, my head is hurting so bad. I need to be strategic about how deep the sink is so that it fits. I have pretty much perfectly measured the drawer to include the handle and these little feet. I would cut these off if it was like easy to make it neat, but it's not, so I just don't want it to look all crappy or break it. So yeah. Whoa, don't eat a bee, you've already done it. Don't eat it. Okay. It's really difficult to cut like the tiniest sliver off without a table saw, so it's a little wonky, but it's the best we got. Compsies. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay. It's in. Okay, so. Fit. I'm gonna have to recut this whole thing. Oh, well, I was wrong. It's not perfect, but it definitely fits. Nice. Okay. Alright friends, that is it for today's video. Everything is ready to be camped in. It is not fully done, but it is functional, and Shasta and I are going to descend on Pinnacles in a week. So a little less than a week, more like 5 days. We're leaving on Friday, so we have a couple little things we're going to do just to make sure the truck's good, but the camper side is ready to go. If you want any of these products that I used, I have included an Amazon storefront with all of the hinges and drawer slides, all of that. That's all in there. And also, if you wanted to help out, there's a few different ways you can do that. So I have a Patreon. There's so many different options of things you get as a patron. You definitely get to kind of see a different side of me. I'm a bit more cut and dry on this channel because we have a mission, we got to get things built, but we talk about a lot of stuff on there, so join the Patreon community. I also have a Amazon wish list for things for this camper, so I don't have everything I need, so if you want to help out that way, you're welcome to, but by no means, just by watching this video, you help me out a lot. YouTube AdSense and stuff, so just watching my videos is all the support I need, but if you want to do a little something extra, those are the options. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. You just won't let up. Good catch.